What's up, sitters? This is Tyler Roth, and I forgot to position the cameras, and we are Front Porch Sitting. I'm kidding. I'm Tyler Roth. This is Joey Edge. I'll get
Sitters,
it right.
what's good?
And Chris Martinez.
What's happening? Which part I got to go?
And we are Front Porch Sitting. I'll get it right.
No, don't worry about it. Your boys got it.
I don't know. We like talked the whole pre-show about cookies, and I just forgot to do everything.
Yeah, I noticed the lights are not on.
You told me to open the door because you were working.
That was quote word for word. Hey, can you open the door? I'm working.
I'm working.
Don't mind me putting the remote control to the TV.
What
on.
is up, Joey? How are we doing?
I'm just looking for the ESPN2 for Gator basketball that comes on at 9:30.
Sitters, we're happy to have you. And the chat is popping on Thanksgiving Eve. Thanksgiving Eve used to be a big thing. Do you remember?
I saw it on Facebook today.
Oh no, thank you, Clayton.
Clayton.
No,
post that
thank
in
you.
Tavern. No, sir. No, sir. I have.
But you know where the house is, so come on over.
I've
Cam,
aged
you
out.
also know where the house is. Come on over.
I've aged out, man.
Yes, sir. Chad.
Chad Hunter. Let's go, man. My dad's in the chat. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait
Yes,
for
sir.
the podcast. Yeah,
Love it.
we're here for it. I can't wait either. It's a big week.
What's so big about this week, Chris? I don't.
Well, I love Thanksgiving, first of all, but there's also like a really huge game being played Saturday. It is a little bit less huge now, but the implications are the same. It's a lot on the line.
I think does that make it more huge? You think? Maybe
Maybe.
huger.
I was gonna make fun of you for more huge, but
I know.
I've already got called out enough on this show.
Sorry, yeah, you have caught some strays.
They were strays. They were straight bullets.
Yeah, they were direct.
They were direct.
You know what else is direct?
Tell me.
JW Weaponry.
JW Weaponry. They are the premier gun store in the South. They're always loaded, except for tomorrow. They will probably be closed, I would imagine. But Friday, I bet
Friday
they've got
sale.
some good Black Friday sales.
Yes.
I wish
Yeah.
we had a picture of it.
For sure.
I'll try to go find a picture of it.
For sure. Joey, what's the number to JW Weaponry?
386-243-8587. 386-243-8587. JW
Absolutely.
Weaponry, premier gun store of the South.
Give them a call. It's a great time for all those things. We need to go ahead and get what you need. You know what else, Tyler?
What's up?
Michelle. Shout out to Michelle.
Shout out Michelle.
She
my
brought
wife.
like Miss Rolfe, the best chocolate chip cookies, top 3, and they're not 3 all time. Tonight. Thank you.
They're
very
fire.
much. Really, really good.
They're fire. She slaved over them. She's been working on them since literally last night. They got to sit in the fridge overnight.
I believe it.
I can tell without a shadow of a doubt that is the truth.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
really good.
I can't prove this. Considers you haven't experienced this, but the cookies are crunchy on the outside and gooey on the inside. I think that's the fridge doing its magic.
I couldn't
I don't
tell
know
you,
why.
but I can confirm what you said is true.
Yeah, they're fire.
Yeah, it's way above my pay grade, but I know I can eat because I'm fat and I enjoyed them thoroughly.
Then you're gonna have a great time tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't love Thanksgiving food.
I really don't either.
Wow. Oh, that's a hot
You
take.
do?
Yeah. Ham?
Ham's
Mac
not,
and cheese?
Ham's not like traditional Thanksgiving food.
That
I like
said-
turkey.
That guy said ham, turkey, and mac and cheese.
I like
Anything else?
Yeah,
Only one of those is
whatever else
Thanksgiving
is on the
Yeah?
table. Yeah.
Dressing? You like some dressing?
I'll eat cornbread dressing.
You like lots
Stuffing?
of.
Is it stuffing or dressing, or is that the same thing?
I think it's different
Same
things.
things.
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, one of them. They are different.
But is cornbread a thing? Like cornbread stuffing or cornbread dressing? Cornbread a thing? Like cornbread stuffing or cornbread dressing?
What's the thing?
I like
called?
that. It's good.
Casseroles. You a casserole guy?
Oh yeah. Oh, corn casserole. Oh my god.
Green
My
bean
sister-
casserole?
Not eating that. Sydney, my
Sweet potato
sister.
casserole.
I'll try it. Mashed potatoes. Love them. Any starch, I'm killing it.
I feel like only like half of those were true Thanksgiving foods. Like ham is not.
We're not
Thanksgiving
gonna
food.
have this tonight.
No,
We're
mac
not
and
gonna have.
Cheese
Ham
is-
is a Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
I saw a post on Twitter that was kind of talking about this, and he said, "Listen, guys, ham and turkey are fine, but you know what's better? Steak. Just make steaks.
I'm okay with that too.
Why is that not a
It
thing?
wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. Big Shane Pope, shout out Shane Pope. Let's shout out Shane
Is
Pope.
he here?
'Cause I don't know, but I like the guy a lot. He's a really good dude. One of my favorites.
Yeah, we
You're
are.
alive. Come
Joey's
on in,
derailing the show. We haven't even got into the show actually.
We do have a full show tonight, though.
Tyler, what?
I'm still trying to get on ESPN2 right now because my TV has told me I needed to put in Chris's password again.
Tyler, what are we going to talk about tonight?
Man, we've got some good stuff and we've got some sad stuff.
We do.
There's going to be some rain. I might put the rain on right now as I say the words that.
My mother's in the chat. Hello, mother.
Oh, man. We had some injuries this
Joanne.
week.
Huh?
We had some injuries this week.
We did have some injuries this week.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the pick'em. I think I went 2-2. Chris did pretty well.
3-1.
Chris and Joey are killing it. So we're going to go over that. We've got a preview for the Florida State game, Battle of the Backups. Yeah. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, can't wait. Joey, you want to recap well, we don't need to recap the pick'em we just did. What is this week's pick'em? Or do you want to do Jordan Travis, Graham Mertz first?
Let's do that.
I'm with that.
I think we should.
What is like the overall meaning of Graham Mertz's injury to like Florida's season, their program? Like what does it mean for the Gators moving forward?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't. He's played well, but he hasn't played like stellar. Like his numbers look really, really good, but he's also missed a lot of plays. I feel like in the passing game. But I don't know the overall grand scheme of what it means. I think Max Brown is a competitor. I know the practices I went to, and I'm sure you went to a few with him there as well. But the ones that I went to, I every time I left, I left feeling like he was the best quarterback on campus.
Yeah.
For 2 years now. Not 2 years because AR was there, but in the spring and in the fall. So two different seasons, I guess. Every time I left there, I was like, this guy's pretty good. So I'm not I think the loss of Jordan Travis is much bigger than the loss of Graham Mertz. That's the key. It's not like the loss of Graham Mertz hurts, yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt to the magnitude that the loss of Jordan Travis hurts.
Yeah, you kind of answered for like this season, this game moving forward. I don't know about next year. I don't think it'll have any like long-term implications.
I'm not so sure.
Why?
I think that there's a chance that Graham Mertz bounces anyways. He goes to the NFL or whatever.
There's no shot he goes to the NFL.
Why?
Because he's not going to get to do a combine, 1, and 2, he's only had one good college career in his entire career.
Why wouldn't he get into a combine?
Because he's going to be hurt, isn't he? Well, I guess it'll be enough time.
Collarbone. It's 4 to 6 weeks. He'll be back for the bowl if he really wants to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, wait, we don't have a bowl. Never mind. Foreshadowing. That's what we call that in the industry. No, I mean, he'll go to the combine. He would go to the combine. I don't know. I don't know long term. Like I said, I think Max Brown has
You really
a chance.
think he bounces? What do you think the odds are that he bounces?
40%.
Okay.
Yeah. He also knows that especially if Max Brown plays really well, like if he goes out and somehow beats Florida State, throws for 270, runs for another 60, looks really good doing it. Quick decisions, right decisions, a lot of good decisions. Writing's on the wall. You got him and DJ Lagway. Where does that leave Graham Mertz? You know what I mean? So long-term implications. It's so up in the air for me, long-term and short-term.
Got it.
Yeah. I think the sitters are more interested in Jordan Travis. We like Graham Mertz.
Yeah.
He channeled his inner Tebow one time and got hurt. Poor guy.
Yeah.
So talk to me about Jordan Travis.
There you go. Thanks, Tyler. I'll do it. Just kidding. No, I didn't want to interrupt you guys with the Mertz thing. I think Mertz is a big one. I mean, I know you, and it's not hindsight because you did say it before, but you did like the Brown kid better. The coaches didn't. They liked Mertz, so, and he had some pretty good numbers. I mean, I saw people comparing his numbers to AR. So, I mean,
and his numbers are really good.
Yeah, I mean,
like really, really good.
Them losing games isn't because of him. I'll say that.
No, 100% no.
So, like,
agreed.
If they had a pulse on defense, then we might be talking differently about Graham Mertz.
And the season is in general.
Right. But as far as Jordan Travis goes, I think the reason I was like devastated. Like, and I've talked to a ton of Seminole fans. Like, I felt like a family member was the one that got hurt.
Yeah.
Like, and so so we have to be honest. Like, I'm like, why do you care so much? Like, what is the connection? Now, I think the thing is, like, Jordan Travis, someone else used this analogy. It's not mine. But Florida State as a university football program was like drowning. Jimbo left us high and dry. Willie was what Willie was. Our AD leaves. I think the Seminole, like the booster club president leaves. They were in like turmoil, and he was like the life raft, like while everyone was drowning. Everybody
Travis
could grab
Hunter
onto.
jump ship.
Yeah, Travis Hunter, but before that, it was just really, really bad. And he was like the thing that everyone could cling on to. And again, this isn't my analogy, but it's the perfect one, so I'm going to reuse it. Like, he was the life raft for all Seminole fans and like the university, in if we're being honest.
Yeah.
And then the other reason I think Seminole fans have like an endearment to him is like what he's like overcome, as far as like almost gave up football when he was at Louisville. Had like mental health issues, like real mental health issues, like real ones, that he was able to like overcome and deal with and handle. And then he got booed off the field against Jacksonville State, which not entirely his fault. He didn't play great, but he's just bounced back and now he's a Heisman contender.
Right.
And this is just how I feel. His season wasn't supposed to end that way. It was supposed to end on his terms or someone else beating him. It wasn't supposed to end on an injury, in my opinion. That's what makes it so difficult to watch. Is his like beloved figure, face of Florida State for the past 2 years, doesn't get to go out on his terms. Instead, gets carted off into an ambulance, and that's how his career at Florida State ends. It just doesn't seem right. And so it just did. So that was why I think it was like a more overarching, bigger picture type of deal with Jordan Travis.
Yeah, it was the Jordan Travis injury. I felt like it was devastating for like every college football fan. I didn't see a single person not tweeting about that.
100%.
Yeah, he's just a great person too.
Yeah.
Like he's just a great
Super easy to
person.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's easy to like, very easy to root for. But that's why I think Seminole fans all feel like damn, like
Right.
I felt like I knew. I've never spoke a word to him. I felt like I knew him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I hurt for him. It just and then you look at like the football side of it. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough for the football team to overcome. Like their leader, their guy touches the ball every play. Like it's hard to overcome.
Right.
Losing that with
Yeah.
everything that's in front of them still.
Right. And just for me as a Gator fan, but also a guy who does this podcast and has to pay attention to Florida State, and I probably pay attention maybe more than I should, just because I don't know, I like football and I
Yeah.
watch games with you too. So
And you love Jordan Travis.
and I was on Jordan Travis as early as anyone probably, but just as soon as it happened, I'm pretty sure Ben was. I may have been talking to myself, to be totally honest. I don't remember who was out here. I was out in the man cave and I was like, dude, that's not like you said. That's just not how it was supposed to go.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to go like that for him. He's too good of a kid. He's too good of a player. Too good of a teammate.
Yes.
Too good of a leader. Like all those things combined, and then for him to go out against North freaking Alabama. No offense to North Alabama, but North freaking Alabama.
Yeah. Well, that pissed me off too. Like, we're down 13-0, and we have to run Jordan Travis against North Alabama. So I was like that's irate that we're running him because we have to.
It was a design run.
Because we're down 13.
Yeah.
Like, it's football, and like it could have happened anytime, and I get that, but like it didn't need to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So that
we
was the
said
frustrating.
We said it last week. Just get out healthy. So
Yeah. And then they did the opposite. So it's tough. It's tough. There's a couple of guys that are very, very close to the program.
The one right there that
Yeah.
just commented is
Yeah, he said, Cameron Cooey said he's an even better person than many can imagine. Truly a guy that deserves it all. So like I think you can, like you get that, like you can feel that through
Right.
his interactions, his engagement, like all the things that he does.
well,
It's
Cooey
a
gets
tough-
to work with him like 1-on-1 every day.
Right.
Like he's literally in the quarterback room with him. So
Right.
if anybody knows, and Cam's equally as good of a human being as,
Yeah.
as anybody that I know. So
It just
if he says that about him, then
Yeah.
it's true.
it just sucks. It sucks that it just sucked how it sucks. It just sucks.
That's it.
There's no other way. There's no other way to put it. Like this will probably go down as one of my favorite Florida State teams. Honestly,
I can appreciate
one of my favorite ones to watch. I just think that, and like the cool thing that you see in the hospital, all of his teammates are there. They're hanging out. It's like cool to see.
Yeah.
You never want to have to think about this, but if there's a silver lining, I think he's the type of guy that this team is going to rally around hard.
I want that to be so true.
I expect the level of effort to be above and beyond.
I think we probably see that. But that's the fan in me.
At least for a half. I think you'll see it for at least a half.
We say that all the time. Like emotion and energy, it lasts early, but then eventually, like training and who you are will show up. We'll get into that game later, but we did want to talk about Mertz and Travis. Those are our guys. Those are our quarterbacks. So
Two quarterbacks not playing.
we'll talk about where the program Florida State is and Florida are together combined shortly when we do the preview. I don't have a review though for North Alabama.
We ready for
No.
the pick'em?
Yeah, let's do the pick 'em real quick. Just to recap, I was 1-3 last week, worst week of the year. Chris was 3-1 last week, and then Tyler was 2-2. That brings us to myself 24-14, Chris 24-14, and Tyler is 19-19.
I'm taking it.
Balloons.
I'm taking it.
Had to.
I love that.
Had
Hey,
to.
I have one quick add-on to
Sure.
the Jordan Travis conversation. I've seen this more in the last week
Yes,
than
sir.
ever in my
I
life.
know where you're going. I
The
love it.
hip drop tackle.
Yep, didn't even know it was a thing.
I don't think it was until a week and a half ago.
Happened against Mark Andrews, right? And then
And then
happened
Lamar.
and then Lamar, and then now Jordan Travis. I think the issue. So I'm sorry, I cut you
Is
off.
there a problem?
In my opinion, no.
Okay, Joseph,
I don't like it.
don't like the hip drop tackle.
I don't like it.
How do you make the tackle in that position then?
I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like there's so many. Like I don't think it's any different than the horse collar, in my opinion. Except it seems to be almost worse because you're dropping on people's feet.
Well,
On
you're
a-
dropping
on a
your hip.
consistent
You don't
basis.
necessarily. So the hip drop tackle, I can't demonstrate it. It's
I know, I
when
want you to get up and
you
do it.
make a tackle, and instead of because they're going towards their first down,
Right.
you're trailing essentially. You have them wrapped up, and you can't dig your heels in the ground and stop them. So you drop your hip literally and bring them down.
Right.
Right. That's the hip drop
That's the
tackle.
hip drop tackle. Yes.
You're basically grabbing them and then elevating your body off the ground and using your weight to pull them in.
Yeah, literally. So I don't know, but my issue is, and I'm a defensive guy, but I don't know how you make the tackle otherwise.
You would know much more about this than me. So I just the looks of it, the way that Mark Andrews went out, and it's of course it's recency, and it's 3-1 weekend and three really good players, right? Mark Andrews, second best player on that team. Lamar is the best player on that team. Went out for a couple of plays, and then Jordan Travis is the best player on Florida State's team. All three two of them having major injuries, and one
Severe.
of them having at least missed a couple of plays, and was very fortunate not to get off worse than that. So I don't know. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's just bad timing. Maybe I don't know what exactly. Maybe it is.
Okay,
but
so here's where I get lost. And Blaze says it is what the horse collar was intended to stop. I do agree with that. The issue is, I don't know how you make the tackle, and then where do you draw the line? Because offensive linemen standing around a pile, go watch, or receivers, when there's stuff coming behind them, the first thing they do is kick their feet out and land on their butt
Right.
to avoid anyone rolling up on them. So if that happens around a pile, are we gonna how do we penalize that? Because it's the same
Yeah, I mean,
effect.
you're right.
It's the same thing.
Right.
You're rolling up on somebody, which
Yeah.
is what's happening. I just
I don't know the answer. I agree with you.
so it's it's already hard enough to play defense. Here's how we
The
have
only
to
way
teach.
you could do it is to disable tackling from behind, and you're never going to do that.
Yeah, I mean
That's not realistic.
No, you
But
can't.
that's literally the only way to do it.
Yeah, or
There's
the
other way
defender
tackle
has to
from
hold
behind.
on. Okay, so then what happens when we hold on and we're holding them up, and then somebody just comes from the front and just delivers kill shot? Then what? You're still gonna get rolled up on because you're gonna end up going backwards.
Right.
So now you're
Let's
just getting hit
put-
from. You're getting folded.
Let's put flags on them from
Yeah.
the backside, and
Yeah.
then pull the flag, and then they're down.
So Sherm says it. Sherm says it right there. I've been saying it for years, that tackle. But so what? I'm okay with him saying it's terrible.
read that.
I'm cool with Sherm saying it's terrible, but so what's the?
I agree.
It is-
That's what I said. It's terrible. I don't like it. I just don't know the alternative to it.
I'm cool with that. There's a problem, but what's the solution?
Right.
And it can't be. I don't think it's fair to penalize. You can barely play defense now. We have to tackle. We have to teach tackling similar to a baseball strike zone. I was talking with Clayton about this. We teach our kids, and because there's targeting in high school now, it just doesn't come with an ejection. Sherm says, "Grab the legs." I don't know how easy that is.
You good with tripping from behind?
like soccer style, go sweep the
hands.
leg?
No, hands.
Hands.
Yeah, I did that and I have a nastiest scar ever on my hand where
the
this
cleat.
this bone laid across this way and they couldn't pop it back in. So I did click heels. Yeah, I did that before, like what you're talking about. But there's a place where you can do that, and typically in the middle of the field isn't where you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So you're saying tackle the legs?
No, I'm saying their thighs are this big around.
Yeah, good luck
we're
tackling
not-
Derrick Henry that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so strike zone. So like baseball, chest, nipples to knees. So we have to strike. That's where we want to hit. But whenever I'm aiming for your pec and then you duck, where do you put your head where my I've already declared where I'm going. And then we get penalized for that. The guy just got fined 4 games for it for the Broncos.
Yeah.
$250,000. Like,
Yep.
I don't know. It's just
The correct call too. I just said that to amp up Clayton. Sorry.
I agree. It's football. It's a violent sport.
It's the cost of doing business. It's one of those things. I don't
Agree.
see a way around it.
That's how I was raised. So there you go.
Yep.
That's we see the same.
All right. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up.
No,
because it
yeah,
was
I mean,
relevant.
it's relevant.
All right.
I mean, I agree with Marty too. It's football. It's a violent sport, and you knew that coming into it. It's just, I don't know. You have all these rules to make everything safe, and then this rule, there is no rule for it, and it seems to be causing. But again, it's football, so there's
Smart
nowhere
people-
to draw the line. Like there is no line to draw, and so I don't know the answers to it because
I think
I don't
it
even know
goes-
that there's a question right now to have an answer.
It
but-
goes back to like intent. Like I don't think it's malicious intent. Like I'm with Blaze. Blaze said I'd rather targeting. I've said it from the beginning, and I've said it on this podcast. I'd rather Blaze literally just said it. I would literally get hit. I'd rather get hit in my face
Yeah.
than get hit in my knees, even from the front. Like
Right.
please don't shoot my knees. I don't want that
Ever.
Hit me here.
Yeah.
Like I have a helmet there, and I may regret that down the road as CTE or whatever. But and typically doesn't end a career. Whereas if you get your knee blown out, like you take a helmet to it, then
Right.
that's could be it.
Yeah.
Same thing with like this. Like you snap this tib fib. Like not great.
Yeah, tip fibs aren't fun.
No.
Pick them.
Nope. Pick 'em. Some good games on here. Some good games.
Florida State at Florida. Florida getting 6.5. Ohio State at Michigan as a 3.5-point favorite. Oregon State at Oregon. Oregon 13.5-point favorite. Clemson at South Carolina. South Carolina getting 7.5.
We'll start in the big house. Michigan hosting Ohio State. They are 3.5-point favorites. I'm not in pole position, but you've had to go like the first 5 weeks in a row, so I'll go first here.
All right.
I'm gonna go blue, Michigan.
Yeah.
I think they control the game.
I'm going blue as well.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
One of those games where if you can run the ball well, control the game a little bit more.
Oh boy. Shane, who do you have?
Taking Ohio State.
Oh, thank God.
Say that out loud.
Shane
Shane
Pope.
Pope says he's taking Ohio
And
State.
he has the IQ of the three of us together
Combined. Doubled.
Close game. I'll take the points.
Close game. He takes the points. He
Where
told
you
me
go?
that
That's
last
a-
week.
that's a
He told me
smart
that
gambler
last
right
week in
there.
an NFL game, and I was like, "Why do you want 1 point? That doesn't even, or was it 1.5? So what's the difference between 1.5 and pick 'em? Like it doesn't even matter. They won by 1
Huh. Vegas doesn't.
or lost
miss.
by 1. So he got.
Yeah.
He's like, that's why I wanted the points. I was like, you know
Brilliant
what?
man.
Yep.
You're a smart man. That's why you make more money than me.
Touche.
Teacher.
Joey has to
Joseph.
pick.
I'm gonna go. Is Harbaugh coaching?
No.
No.
If Harbaugh was coaching, I was gonna go Ohio State.
We know.
I'm still going Ohio State. Only because Pope picked it, and I like Pope. I think he's a smart man.
Good deal.
He's a smart man.
Moving on.
Let's go to the Oregon game. A tale of two Oregon teams.
Rivalry weekend.
Hard hitting analysis right there. A tale of two
One
Oregon
team
teams.
in orange, the other in many
miss
different
Bradford.
colors. What's that?
I miss Bradford.
I miss Bradford.
Not Shane Edge, Chad. Not Shane Edge. Shane Pope.
Shane Pope.
Not Shane Edge. His IQ is he's on par with me.
Oregon.
I will take. Give me the Beavers. What a logo. That's the only reason.
The Beavers plus 13.5.
That's back to back. They made it on the pick'em.
That is.
Oh,
Gotta be
wow.
a first.
Yeah.
gotta be
It's
first.
definitely a first.
Last week was the first they ever made it on the pick'em, so yes,
Yeah.
it is a first.
Who you got, Joey?
Man, I love this line. I think this line is just right.
It is. It is.
I wish I knew the weather. I wish I would have done more research on this. If it's a rainy game, I like Oregon State. I think I'm going to go Oregon. Oregon given the 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to go Bo Nix and the boys in Autzen. DJ Uiagalelei plays for Oregon State,
Oh.
which is why I'm going Oregon.
I didn't.
If he doesn't sell and give the game away, they beat Washington last week. I'm still pissed about that. So, give me Oregon.
It's true. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
Factual. Clemson. Going to the Gamecocks.
Yeah.
Is it me or you want to go? You haven't gone first.
Yeah, I
yet.
haven't gone first. I'll go. South Carolina's home field advantage is pretty significant. I hate South
Sitters,
Carolina.
if you're alive in the chat and you thought Joey was going to pick Clemson, just let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, give me the Cox.
I would have bet my life savings that Joey was not going to put anything
Good show.
in line with Dabo.
Thanksgiving show, and he says, "Give me the Cox." All right. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna save you. Clemson Tigers here. I don't like 7.5. I would, if I was actually going to make a wager here, I would buy a point, like a full point, make it 6.5.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Man, what are the odds if he buys a full point there? Minus 140?
Yeah, that's 130 or 140 depending on where the spread's at that current
That's a lot
moment.
of juice. It's a lot of juice. You got to win by a tutty.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I got to win an outright. So,
South Carolina.
I do too.
do you? Oh, I knew
Clemson-
I knew that was never gonna hit.
Clemson's season's been like this,
Yeah, it has.
and they're on top
They're
right
on
now.
this. It's
Yeah,
time
and
to
so
go
it's
back.
time to go back down.
Makes
Fair enough. That's not totally inaccurate.
No, that's good. That's more hard hitting analysis, rather than the
Two
a tale of
organs.
two organs.
I went with Oregon State simply because of their logo.
Also hard
Simply
hitting
why.
analysis.
Yeah.
All right,
That's good.
the big game. The big game. The Seminoles coming in to the Gators. 2 teams from Florida.
Yep.
I'll
Yeah.
go first on this one because we already know. Write it down, Joseph. Give me them Gators.
Oh,
Give me them Gators.
for real?
Heck yeah,
You made
boy.
me scratch it out. You said you already know. You haven't.
Florida
not
by a
picked-
tutty.
Florida
Oh, wow.
wins outright.
Florida by a tutty.
Nobody can see you.
I know, but you can't. I was Gator shopping.
Dive into it a little bit before we give picks.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do that. Can we make sure that everyone in here is subscribed?
Yeah.
Please go like it like right now. We're at 4 likes right now. We gotta like triple that thing, man. Like, what are we doing? Like it,
Thanksgiving.
subscribe.
Have a heart.
Yeah. Be friendly, be kind. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn notifications on so you don't miss it. But do go like it. That would be cool. All right. So which side of the ball do you want to start on? Do you want to start on Florida State with the ball or Florida with the ball?
I think we should start Florida with the ball because I think it's less intriguing than Florida State with the ball.
I tend to agree. What you tell me, Joey? Let's do this a little differently.
Okay.
If you are going to attack Florida State's defense, how would you do it?
Figure out a way to compromise Jared Verse. You gotta figure out a way to do that.
You mean conflict, Jared Verse? Compromise sounds like you want to like hurt him. Like
I
it's
put him in a
a
yeah,
conflicting situation.
I feel like compromise.
We
is a
want
better word,
Jerry
but that's
verse,
okay.
not Jared verse.
Yeah, we want to see Jerry Verse. We don't want Jared Verse. Jared Verse is not a guy we want to see.
Yeah.
But I think that Max Brown's able to do that with his legs. I think that half a step one way or the other can be a benefit for him. I don't know if that's how it's going to go, but I do
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that we have to do.
So you would make sure you take care of Jared Verse. Got to make sure to block
So
that guy.
you said take care of. That sounds way worse than can whatever I said.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Handle him. Take care of it. Yeah, you're right.
Block him. We got to block
Conflict.
him.
All right. I'm thinking like if I'm Florida, if I'm Billy Napier and the boys, I'm going to try and all kind of like boot action, which they love to do anyways with Graham Mertz.
Yeah.
They like to move him around,
Yeah.
keep him clean, no big hits, pretty easy reads, find Pearsall and Trey Wilson.
Yep.
And then take the pressure off of him and run the football.
7, 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's a really easy scenario on how to win.
Yeah, so that's what I would do. And then obviously I would be very clear with him and say, hey, bud, if you don't like it downfield, put it underneath your arm and go get as much as you can and get out of bounds.
Yeah. Or throw it into the 37th row.
So I will say this too. That's how I would do it. So you want to talk about how we would stop it? I can go first on if I'm Florida State, how I would try to stop that.
Yep.
Because I think that's the game plan we'll see.
I think so too.
I think Florida State traditionally struggles with a mobile quarterback. This is also their 8th straight backup quarterback they're going against. 8.
There's no way that's real.
That's 100% fact.
Wow.
8 straight backup quarterbacks. I mean, or hurt or injured. Like Riley Leonard from Duke wasn't 100%, didn't finish the game type thing.
That's bananas.
So this is another one, 8. So I think the defense looks really good because they're playing against backup quarterbacks a lot or hurt quarterbacks. I do think that typically mobile quarterbacks give them a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
This is a mobile quarterback, but I will say they played Jaden Daniels better than anyone else in the country this year, and he's the best mobile quarterback in the country. That was in week 1, so that's a long time from now. Feels like ages ago. I would try to have a plan for Brown. I would make him make quick decisions, and that plan is make him. I would speed him up. I would pressure him early. If he can handle the blitz, if he can handle pressure, then I would have to maybe reconsider things a little bit and maybe then play coverage or spy him. But we're gonna accelerate that clock a little bit. Our Florida's offensive tackles plan, do we know that? That's gonna be huge.
Austin Barber is questionable. Damian George is definitely listed as number 1 on the depth chart.
Okay, we'll see. A little gamesmanship. We'll see if they're warming up. That will matter because if they can get pressure with Verse and Peyton, and they don't have to blitz a ton, that'll be huge. That'll be tough on
Who's going to be on the left side of the D line?
Peyton.
Yeah,
But they move him around.
Okay, but whoever's on the left side will eat.
So your right tackle is tough.
He's awful.
Okay. But that's what I would do. I would try and speed him up. All the thought process and like decision making, blitz pickup, all that stuff. Make sure the protection is set properly. That's how we would go about it.
I like that. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I think that's what's going to happen. I think offensively for Florida, I mean, you said it earlier, but you just have to. To me, 2 and 7 are the most important pieces. I love Pearsall. I love Trey Wilson, but if you don't get Montrell and you don't get ETN going, it's kind of a moot point at that point.
Yeah.
Like they have to get touches and they have to move the football. Like those two have to move the football because then once that happens, then everything else can kind of fall into place. Then you can start getting Pearsall. Then you can start getting Trey Wilson. Like Trey's a little different because you can get him the ball on the edge and then he can go make a guy miss and then 70's an option at any point.
Absolutely.
I hope they don't try to do the opposite of that and get the outside going to get the run game going. I hope they don't try to do that. But it's a possibility. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I think that would put Florida State in like a tough situation if they're able to run the ball because then they'll have to allocate bodies to the box.
Right.
And then that makes everything easier for Brown.
Especially on mobile quarterback.
Yeah, because he's able to move. And now
and you're one-on-one more. And
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. Like I am actually genuinely intrigued to see that play out.
It's an interesting set of matchups.
It is. I think Florida State should be up like pretty good up front defensively. Like that's their strongest unit on the field is the front four. So I think they have to like make their presence known. And the like Florida State romantic in me wants to like tell myself like they're going to lay it on the line for Jordan Travis and they're going to play like with a different level of energy and effort. But like, really, how much more up are they going to get when everything's on the line, anyways? So probably not.
Yeah, you're playing for a national championship.
Correct.
Right now. You know what I mean?
Like, you got to win 3 games.
Yeah.
4 games, I guess. 4 games.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about the mental part of that here soon, I guess. But you want to go to the opposite side of the ball?
Yeah, it's flip sides.
So Florida's on defense. Florida State's on offense.
Yeah, let's catch Blaze's question real quick. Tyler, would you get that for us?
University of Florida running backs, over or under 145 yards rushing?
Under.
If it's over, I think they win.
I agree.
Yeah, 145 is high.
Short of a big run, like a busted, like a long one, like a 70-yarder, I think they'll be under. But if they hit like an explosive, obviously they can get to 145. That's the question.
I think they'll be relatively close to that.
129.5.
I'm going to go over. It depends on the pace of play, too. Like, is Billy going to sit on the football? I don't know. If you added Browns in there, I'd say over.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. All right, we can flip sides, though.
Yeah, let's flip sides. So, Florida State on offense, what are they going to have to do to – what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to show up. What do they need to do to exploit Florida's defense?
So, here's what I'm going to say about this. Florida's defense has been really, really god-awful all year. That will not
other than Tennessee.
Correct. We will see a more Tennessee-like defense than what they put on film. We will get just like Miami. Miami's been really good. They played their best against us too. Like we're going to get Florida's best punch. That's how it's supposed to be in a rivalry game.
Right.
Now, how good that punch is, I don't know, but it won't be like LSU bad, 701 yards. Like it won't be.
I agree with that.
It won't be like running through like water.
I agree with that.
Nobody can expect that. With that being said, I think the receivers and the running backs are going to have to carry it a little bit, like the load. The offensive line is going to have to show up. Florida hasn't been great as far as like getting pressure on quarterback without blitzing, but they're big.
Yeah, they haven't been great doing it with blitzing either, though.
They just leave so much stuff open when they blitz. But yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay, that works when you have someone who knows where to go with the football.
I don't know, man. We're
But if-
multiple on the front end. We're multiple on the back end. I just
We have a
feel
tool
like...
shed.
All right, I'm done with that. Sorry.
Yeah, I think Florida State has got to find a way to take the load off of Tate, which is running the football, and like receivers have to go make plays, and tight ends have to block better. Like they have to play better around him. Typically, the quarterback his job is to make everyone around him better. I think right now that unit has to make Tate's job smaller and his job easier. Like because what I will say about him is if they do give him time, he has a rocket launcher.
It does.
And he does have to wait till he sees it open, which is the issue. But once he sees it open, if it's open, he's making the throw.
He's going to be accurate with it, too.
Yeah. But the issue is the decision making and like anticipation. He doesn't do that very well.
I agree.
So if he holds the ball or pats the ball, then it could be a big play for the defense, which scares me. I think the team who wins this game, now that we're here, I think the team who wins this game is the one who makes the least amount of mistakes. Like I know it sounds so cliche,
Yeah,
but like
not necessarily like the big mistake either, though.
Like
Just
the catastrophic. I'm talking about like the catastrophic pick six type thing, block punt, busted coverage, poor
Momentum
tackling.
swingers.
Yeah, I think there's going to be. I think there's going to be a sloppy football game. I think there'll be mistakes everywhere. I think there'll be penalties. I think there'll be. I think it will be like not a clean football game, obviously. But whoever is the one that doesn't make the huge mistake, most likely finds a way to win the game, in my opinion.
I think there will be a couple of huge mistakes, so I don't know that I agree with you on that.
So
Because I think each team makes a huge one. It just depends on.
Well, if they do, then it zeroes
negates
out.
it, right.
But I'm saying, like, if Florida makes a huge mistake and Florida State doesn't, then Florida State probably has a better chance to win the football game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and these guys are capable of making a huge mistake, which Jordan Travis nor Graham Mertz has done all year.
That's true.
Neither one has made that catastrophic, just cost my team the game type of mistake. The two that we'll watch Saturday are capable. I don't know about Brown so much. Haven't seen him. I have seen Tate
He
throw.
fumbled last week on his fourth play of the game, so that was
Yeah,
pretty
that was
costly.
just nerves, bad spot.
I know.
Not a
I'm
good
just saying.
situation,
Nope.
but no, it's still a
happened.
mistake
Yeah.
and a bad time. The other thing I'm not sure. I think that I think for Florida State, man, I think if they don't focus on the run, if they run their offense and say, I'm not going to try to establish the run, I'm not going to try to do this, just run your offense, I think they win going away.
So
I don't know that they're going to do that. I think they're going to try to establish the run, and I think that plays into Florida's hands a little bit. I think Florida's going to try to stack the box. I don't know that it matters because I don't think that Florida's linebackers and gap control right now is good enough for it to be any sort of relevant at all because I just don't think they're great.
I watched some run fits today, and it was bad. It was really, really poor. But so I'm going to ask you a question. And there's a couple questions in the chat. Y'all throw them in there. We'll get to them when we're done here. Florida State against Florida, obviously, when Florida State has the ball. So you're saying stack the box, bring bodies in there to stop the run, which I agree with. Florida State hasn't ran it well this year, but they probably are going to try and establish it.
Right.
Can they match up on the outside? Can they match up with
The only person they have a problem with is Keon Coleman. I know. Florida State fans love Johnny Wilson. I know that. I know
He's been hurt this year. He's been banged up. He's a pretty good player, man. I know you hate him, and we're not going to have this argument for the thousandth time.
Yeah, hurt
but-
or not. Do I think we can match up with him? Yes,
Okay.
I do. Jaheim Bell's a problem.
Yeah, he's going to be.
He's one of the biggest problems, I think. Keon Coleman is a matchup nightmare for anyone. It doesn't matter
Correct.
how good your corners are. Doesn't matter how good your safeties are. Doesn't matter who you put on him. He's a matchup nightmare for literally any corner in the country. So,
Yeah, so if it's incomplete, he's probably going to draw the PI.
Right.
So if we load the box, which I think they'll have like side adjustments. Every team does it, but pre-snap, Tate, is it a 7-man box? Is it a 7-man box? That means they don't have enough for safeties on either receiver. So like, let's go give him a shot.
yeah, and if they let him do that, I think Florida State. Like I said, I think Florida State wins going away.
So here's how I hope they approach it. I've been telling people all week. I talked to Blaze a lot this week. Blaze is super informed. He played football. He's as in tune Florida State as most, or as more than most. I think Mike Norvell and Alex Atkins are going. This is their job, is to earn their paycheck this week. They don't have the cheat code back there in Jordan Travis, and they've got to scheme things open to where it's quick, easy reads for him. And they typically, Mike Norvell will do this. He's one of the better in-game coaches. Every week, it's like I'm like, wow, he's pretty good.
Right.
Like,
I agree
So
with this.
I think they're going to have things tailored to Tate. I think the offense is the offense, especially in week 12. I don't think they're going to try and add, but I do think they're going to. I think they had. I know they had a conversation with Tate, and the conversation was like, "Hey, what are we comfortable with? What do you like most?" And we'll try to incorporate that in the game plan, as much as possible without being like obvious or predictable.
Yeah. Like I said, if that's the case, if that's the case, and they do, like I said, kind of just run the offense, I don't like it for Florida. Florida's defense is just not good right now. There's just not much there. Blaze said in the chat, the linebackers are bad. Tight ends could be a problem.
The linebackers are.
The linebackers are just. It's not just the tight ends that could be a problem. It's the backs because they're not going to be where they need to be. Our backers are going to be in the wrong spot
Yeah.
more often than they're not.
Yeah,
seems.
it does appear that way, but they've had a whole another week to coach it, and hopefully they get it. I mean, and just saying,
Also
They-
had
they're-
12 previous weeks.
yeah, maybe it was the 12th time they've heard it. I don't know. Like that's
Finally clicked.
Yeah, I don't know. It could happen. I guess that's the
It could.
thing with that game is if they do like because they'll have the energy, they'll have the emotion. The crowd will be what the crowd will be at night game in Doak or in the Swamp. I'm sorry, and they're playing for their bowl season. They're
Right.
playing for to also spoil Florida State season.
Right.
They also lost their quarterback, one of their leaders. They'll probably also play for him as well. It'll be I'll be anxious watching that game.
Yeah, I will be too. There's so many fun storylines to it.
Yeah.
And I think the matchups for Florida are much better than they could be, or they were even for Missouri. I said that last week. I thought Florida State was a better matchup for Florida than Missouri.
Yeah.
I think we played really well against Missouri.
Yeah, I do too.
As good as we could play. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
think we
not-
could play any better other than one play, 4th and 17, play a little bit better, harder, to different defense, something. I don't know anything, but
Different defense.
right. But also there was the lack of effort on that play was pretty poor.
You don't play yeah.
Right.
Cover you don't play like soft cover 2 like that with 2 linebackers on the field on 4th and 17.
Okay. Yes.
They're hopping
Yes.
around there at line of scrimmage, like waiting on someone to throw them the ball. Hey, bud,
Right.
they're not going to throw you the ball. You got to go find the guy that they want to throw it to and attach to them. If you're covering,
He's probably going to be at least 17 yards away.
if you're covering grass, yeah, exactly. In that window,
Yeah.
If you're covering grass in that scenario or any scenario, you're likely
Any scenario.
wrong.
Don't cover grass.
Yeah, you're not. We're not spot
What do, you,
droppers.
what do you do there? Do you send pressure or do you sit back?
I probably would rush 4, and I would have an extra DB. We would play like single high safety, or we play cover 2. That's fine. You can play 2-man, 2 high safety, and we'd have man underneath, and
That's
so
what
you
I
have
said.
your
Seems pretty simple.
So you have six in coverage, and you can bring 1 extra, or you can have a rat player. Like if you want to bring 5, cool, bring 5. What I would do is we would play man-to-man, 2-man everywhere. The safeties with their freaking heels on 17 yards on the sticks, and we're going to sit there and wait. And if the back stays in the block, then the backer, the one backer that will be on the field that can match up with the running back, hug rush, go blitz back. The back gets out and runs a route, then the back is yours to cover. So if he stays in the block, add in to the blitz. If he releases into the pattern, he's yours. So I have,
Not.
but they
that
played like
hard.
true cover 2 with the corners had flats. And so I was like, what's Jason Marshall doing? Well, he's actually a flats corner. He's just running with the guy because they probably make sense as opposed to staying in the flats. It wasn't his mistake.
Yeah.
Nunnery and Wingo hopping around at 6 yards off the ball, that was probably the bigger issue. Like, hey, maybe get in that hook the curl window there and take the big away. Anyways,
Yeah.
back to Florida State. I'm excited about the game. I haven't liked this for Florida State. I've been like anxious and weary of Florida at home, and then now it's a night game, even more so. Now you don't have your leader, and you have a guy that's a little bit reckless with the football. I like it less. I'll go ahead and make my pick. I'll go Florida with the points.
Oh
I
my
think-
goodness.
I'm so shocked by
Yeah, but I
this.
mean, okay.
Call your moms.
So
Call
now-
your dads. It
So-
happened.
So the cat's out of the bag. Obviously, I pick against Florida State a lot. But this week, I truly like a touchdown in the swamp at night. I don't know. That's a lot. That's all. It really. I mean, that's a lot. Like I was talking with Travis Yeck. Yeckering was the same way, and he's he's critical of Florida as well in certain times. But even him said, like, a touchdown in Gainesville at night when everything is on the line. That's a lot of points.
What would the spread be if Jordan Travis was playing?
11.5 is what it was. It opened at that. Like a couple books opened at 11.5, quickly got pulled down once. Like I guess they just left the. I don't know how that works. I'm not going to pretend to know how that works, but they didn't.
They didn't update the line. The second the game in, it triggered the thing to go live.
I believe so. Yeah. So it opened at like 11.5, and everybody's like, "What? 11.5? Yeah, that's with Jordan Travis."
What how do you feel about Adam Fuller?
He's played 8 backup quarterbacks or hurt quarterbacks in a row. I'm honest.
Second half.
Yeah, they make very good adjustments, or they're very good at picking up signs.
55 points in 11 games?
Yeah.
In the second half?
Yeah, a lot of those came in a singular game too.
Yeah, there were 19 in Boston College game.
Yeah,
So 5.5
No,
a game with 19 coming against Boston College.
correct. No, he's done a good job. He's bought himself another year. What I think best case, well, we'll get to that after we finish this. I think he's done a good job this year. I think Patrick Surtain has got the DBs playing as good. Odell's doing his thing. Like the D line is the best strong point of the team. I am still unsure about Adam Fuller, but I just feel like he just keeps getting the freaking job done. He just keeps getting
If
it
it ain't
done.
broke.
He just keeps getting it done, and I'm the last person to fire a coach. You know that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I didn't mean like
No,
as
I know
far as
that.
like do you think he should just in general like
I think he's.
I really just wanted to point out the fact that they've given up 5.5 a game in the second half of
Yep.
games this year, and 19 of those came against Boston College. I just think that's incredible.
He's done an exceptional job in the second half for sure.
If Florida is ahead by 10 at the half, they have a slight chance to win. Small. I don't know that they can do it. I just don't know. I'm going to take Florida in the points because I think, like you said, a touchdown in the swamp is too much with Tate Rodemaker at quarterback.
Give me Florida State then.
Okay. I did that earlier,
I see
so
what you're doing there. I
You
see
know
what you're
me.
doing, yeah. There's a
Um,
couple questions up there. We're going to come back and get to them, but
But yeah, that's where I'm at. I got Florida plus 7.5 or 6.5. Sorry, just because it's at home.
I agree.
In the Swamp, big
I agree.
game, huge game.
huge game. Byron will be right.
Good swing momentum game for Billy Napier.
He needs it.
I do want to touch on him in a minute.
He
but
needs it. He needs this one.
he just for perception reasons only.
It's not a must win, but he
It's
needs
not a must win.
this.
It is not a must win. I want to reiterate it, the fact that I do not believe it's a must win.
But he needs it.
But it would be a huge win, like really huge. Like
His seat
You
won't
normal-
be anywhere near as hot next year if he wins this game.
I don't know
The
that it'll
start
even
of
be
next year.
warm.
No. But if he does not, and they win 5 games, and they miss a bowl for the second straight year,
and they don't finish top 6 in recruiting.
yeah.
Then
and they
then,
don't.
then the seat starts to get a little bit warm in the offseason.
And then you know what type of schedule they have moving forward. So you don't want that seat to be the slightest bit warm going
Right.
into the year.
Yeah,
Right,
that's-
wrong, or indifferent, we know what will happen.
I say all that to say that I'm as good on Billy Napier as I've been since after the Utah game the first year. I am. I think that he's starting to figure it out.
I don't know. We get one a week.
We
We get one a week.
But here, let me
We're on a 4-game skid, and Joey loves him again.
because
I'm not just being
yeah,
honest. Like
I get what you're saying, but what 4-6 or whatever? What is our record? It was 5-5 going into Missouri.
5, and
5 and 6 now.
Yeah, 5-6 now.
Yeah,
On a 3-game skid, going to the number 9 team in the country,
You play really well.
played really well. Like played hard. I don't care about anything. You played hard. Like those guys competed their butts off for 4 quarters.
yeah.
Should have won the game. Poor defensive coordinating.
I wish they would have won the game.
Back-to-back weeks where you feel good about the offense. I think that more plays into your hand than anything else.
The biggest thing, like everybody wants to compare Norvell and Billy, and there's a lot of similarities in my opinion right now. A lot. Like the games that you should win, Florida State, Jacksonville State. They had NC State one game. They had another one that they should have won that they didn't win. So they ended up having a bad record for a couple of back-to-back years there, right? The first 2 years of his tenure.
Yep.
But they're really close. They were really close, and you knew that, and I
Yeah.
knew that, and we talked about it. Like,
Yeah. It's the
yes,
cool thing about a podcast because when we can go back and revisit.
right. And
Receipts.
Yeah.
yeah, so like you could see the progression, and you said it with Florida State. No matter what happens, they're playing hard every week.
Yeah.
That's going to translate. Culture is changing. I swear to you, like I feel like we should be having the same conversation with Billy Napier. You can tell the culture is not the same as it was.
I agree.
Guys are playing at a different level mentally. I don't I think that they're struggling with Austin Armstrong right now.
I agree.
Just the overall scheme, the whatever the situation is, but they also struggle with Adam Fuller at Florida State.
They did. There was not a whole lot of buy-in early on, and I know that to be a fact.
And now, maybe there's not a whole lot of buy-in, but I know they're playing a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know if they're. I have no idea.
Oh,
if
they're bought in. They're
yeah,
definitely
I have
bought
no idea if they're bought in, but
Obviously.
what I know is they're playing a lot better.
in. Yeah,
What's changed on their staff in the last 4 years?
continuity has just improved, and like this is how we do things. So like continuity.
And they've recruited at a pretty high level. They've hit the portal at a really, really, really high level.
Yeah, done an exceptional job. But everyone said he couldn't recruit prep. Now we're recruiting prep. Like
Exactly, because you have to build relationships. You have to get to that point, and now he's at that point. Now people see, okay, this guy, he cares about his players. He trusts his players to make plays in their time to make plays. He evaluates the situations properly, and then whoever's the best player plays.
yeah,
The best player will play.
Is that any different at Florida right now? Right now, 2 years into Mike Norvell and 2 years into Billy Napier, what's the difference?
yeah. I don't.
Because Florida State was ready to fire Norvell.
No, Florida State wasn't. The 10% of the ludicrous fan base were. Yes.
It was probably more than 10 at that point. When the second season,
When they went 3-7 again.
when they went 3-7 again, there was more than a few that were ready to.
Now I will tell you, he had like COVID and not being able to see his players to fall back on, not being able to recruit to fall back on. That was like a built-in excuse, but he didn't use it. But some of us used it in arguments. I definitely did. I needed it. 3-7. Actually, I didn't talk football with anyone. Actually, I knew better than to do that. There's a couple questions. Can we grab those?
Yeah.
I think Mr. Hewitt had one up top. The one more.
FSU runs the screen game very well. Just a statement. And I agree.
They do, and Florida blitzes a ton. So if they can catch them in that, I think that could be big.
Big play.
Shout out Mr. Hewitt. He pulled me aside at church on Sunday. He's like, "Hey, I just want to introduce myself."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, thanks for listening."
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Celebrity, like when you get that
That's
moment.
the first time that's happened to me ever.
When someone bought our
'Cause
haircuts.
It was your first time you'd been on camera.
Holy cow, you're right.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
Yeah, he messaged me the next day and told me that. He said, "Hey, Tyler plays bass at Hopeful." And I was like, "Yeah, he does."
He was a super nice guy.
He is a nice
Really-
guy.
He like ran out of the class to see me.
Fun fact. I can't say that. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
He's super knowledgeable about football too.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
with that.
He
Blaze,
goes, well, he's on the sideline of a lot of Gator games, so
Okay.
he has some
Ref.
Yeah.
inside heat there. He doesn't share with me, but he does have some inside heat there.
maybe he will. Maybe he will soon.
He may have a time or two. We won't discuss that.
We read Blazes. Blazes got a good one here.
This one right here?
Yep.
UF does not spill, and FSU loves the counter. One game could be big. Also, UF's linebackers are the weakest spot. Tight end could be big.
So we caught the back end of that,
Yep.
but the front end of that is important because we've talked about it previously.
That happened
on
last
here.
year, I think, too.
Yes, bad.
Yeah, they
They're
got
really-
exposed.
they're-
You
yeah.
remember the LSU game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So counter obviously is like where we pull two linemen. Sometimes we'll pull a guard tackle. Sometimes we'll pull so guard tackle is GT counter, and then when you pull like an H back, it's called GH counter. So, but you're pulling two linemen. So the first one is a kick out block. The next one is a wrapper. Well, what Blaze is talking about, Florida does, they don't spill the counter, which means like if you think about like literally like, as elementary, spilling a drink, the ball like the water comes outside of the cup or whatever you're drinking goes outside of the cup. When you spill the run, the defensive player will insert himself on the inside shoulder of the offensive player, like making the ball go here and bounce outside. Like it has to bubble. So the ball carrier has to like backtrack a touch, but the backer
He's going to change his route.
Yeah. Exactly. He's not getting north and south now. He's getting east and west, and we love that. We'll chase him down most of the time. The linebacker is accounting for that. He knows that he's going to spill it, so he's running tight, like a tight angle, and can go makes the tackle. Florida, they box it, which is the opposite. So they like force everything back inside. Well, that's an easier block for a lineman.
Right.
All I gotta do is like get on the inside hip, and then now the wrapper can come through clean straight to a backer, and the ball carrier follows. So if it's not a physical box to where you knock the first puller back, then it allows running lanes to be huge. Missouri, Florida fans, if you go back to your first drive against Missouri where they marched the ball down the field, they ran counter like a lot. And so I think that could be huge. Teams are typically spill or box. They're not normally do they do both. You pick one. Typically, like we do both. In certain packages we'll box, and certain packages we'll spill.
Right.
The other one was, I think he asked a question about a specific number, Joey, and I wanted you to answer that.
I just wanted to say that he highlighted that they had a safety 10 yards behind, and I noticed that as well, and I was irate.
Yeah, so he should be at the marker.
Yeah,
like
right.
if we're gonna be like if we're gonna play like Tampa 2, like be in front of the first down.
Right. Yes.
Field goal wins, not ties. Field
The
goal.
play
wins.
after that was really bad too when Florida wasn't prepared.
They stopped playing.
I don't think. I
That
don't
was
think.
the only time they gave up
Yeah.
all night long.
Yeah,
I don't
they
think
stopped
number
playing.
10. I don't think number 10 is like. I don't think he's very good.
Because that would have been a long field goal.
And Nunnery's bad
Yeah, that's
too.
what you thought he was saying there.
Number 10. I
Yeah.
didn't read the whole
Yeah,
thing.
no, I didn't either. I saw
Sa-
that too.
I
and
saw
was like,
safety 10.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, he's not good.
Yeah, no, he does suck. You're right.
14 is bad. 10 is bad. 34 is bad. I don't like Nunnery. I don't like him. I don't like his game at all. He's big, long, and rangy, but I don't like his game.
Give me Jaden Robinson, please.
1,000 times yes. Not this week though.
Yes, no, give him this. Give me Jaden Robinson this week.
Right now.
I don't
Sherm
want him.
says yes, it is different. Billy hasn't made any good adjustments. I disagree, but that's a whole nother story. I mean, everybody complained about how bad the offense was early. 450 yards a game later, 40 points a game later. I don't know.
It's enough to win.
Offense seems pretty good right now.
Now I will tell you, the defense gives him plenty of at bats.
That is true when you have 37 possessions a game because you're giving up
Yeah.
427,000 yards yourself.
That is not a recipe for success for Florida State Saturday. All those possessions. I mean, I guess if we're scoring on them, then
I was
sure
gonna
that's
say,
great.
I
But
mean, yes, because if you have possessions, you are
actually, you
scoring.
know what? I take that back. I think it's actually perfect. I think it needs to be more possessions. More
Yes.
for Florida State.
Yeah. I just like I said, I think the similarities are a lot more.
I can't quite get on that train with you, Joey, but I also will not refuse to board it either. I'm gonna wait a minute.
I get people being hesitant on it, and I get why people would say I don't understand it, but I can't find a glaring difference in the two right now. I just can't.
Speaking of the two, we're an hour into the show. We've only done one ad read, so we're gonna do a double
I love it.
right here. Brian Sports, the best place to get all your sporting goods needs. If you need to get a Florida Gator hat, shirt, Seminole hat, shirt, stuff for your kids, anything you guys need, Brian's is the place to go. Supports the community, support him back. Joey, give me the number.
755-0570. Just a quick note on Brian Sports.
You're a machine with the numbers. Joey's a machine with the numbers.
Just a quick little note on Brian Sports. He's fixing to get a new machine at his place of business where the shirts are going to be even better when he makes them. A little hot off the press news stories here.
Wow.
At Front Porch City.
Hot off the heat press.
Hot off the heat press. Yes, sir. Talk to me. Hot off the heat press news
like that?
stories.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Breaking news on Front Porch Sitting.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, in just a couple of weeks, Brian's going to hook you guys up.
Speaking of just a couple weeks, Christmas is just a couple weeks away. It's too late to get your hair cut right now for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Unless Josh is an absolute madman.
No,
He's
don't do
not,
it.
though. Don't
know
text
what?
him right now.
No. You can text him right now if you want to. I have an idea. I have a couple of gift cards. They're supposed to be for the next few guests that come on, but I'm going to do something different with one of them, and they're going to be okay with it. I need the correct score for Florida State. The closest person with the correct score in the comments.
What's define closest? The sum? Just do the total together.
I don't like the total together. You got to pick the winner. I can say 48, and if the score's 45-3, but I thought
I'm
it was
just
going
saying,
to be
how are you
24.
going to define closest?
I don't know. Pick the winner with the closest difference between the scores. It's not that hard. If Chris says it's going to be 31-20 Florida State,
So
and the
total
scores-
number of points off.
yeah,
Do you see what I'm talking about, Pope?
That'll work.
That'll work?
Total number of points off.
Yeah.
You got to pick the right winner.
you got to pick the right winner.
Got to pick the
All
right
right,
winner.
we're good
Add
then.
points for the loser and subtract points.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
good with that. As long as it's
Thank
the
you
winner.
for having my back on that. I felt like I was an idiot for a minute.
That's great, Joey. I think it's a wonderful idea.
I think it's a great
so
idea.
if we do that, we're giving you a Josh's Barbershop gift card,
So
Free haircut.
free haircut.
Oh.
put them in the comments.
Yeah, put 'em in-
You know what we're gonna do? This
about to
is,
put mine in
this
the
is for the
comments.
live folks only. You want to do it for the live folks only?
Yes, people that are here right now. I'm
Yeah.
not going back and checking the comments.
No.
Oh
45-20 Blaze.
God.
Writing it down, Blaze.
My guy. Freaking my guy. Hey, one screen this thing.
I need another piece of paper. This one's too big. It's too much on this one.
Why don't we
we'll
just
get
put it
it
in
in.
craft? We'll put it in craft.
Yeah, put it in craft.
Put it in
Good
craft.
call.
Anyways,
So
Christmas,
Josh's Barbershop.
Christmas, quite a ways away. We got a month away.
Yep.
Time to get your haircut. Get on the get on the schedule. Shoot them a text message at
386-247-1440. 3-0.
You do that. He'll send you the schedule. Get on it. Get your haircut before Christmas. Your family members won't even recognize you. You'll look so good.
Is that a Bradford sighting?
Bradford James was in the, he said, "What's up, guys?" A few minutes ago. I saw Bradford at the Sunstop today. Good time, right by
Went earlier that Bradford wasn't here.
yeah, right by my work. I was excited. Couldn't contain my excitement. Sat there with him in the parking lot for about 30 minutes and talked. It was a
about
great time. A great time, I tell you. Anyways,
So there's only 2 scores. We need more scores. There's a
I'm just telling you right now. If you pick Florida to win 7-0 right now, and they end up winning the game, you'll get a free haircut. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying.
Sherm, throw a score in there. That's a heck of a comment, but throw a score in there too. We're gonna read that comment.
points are points, numbers are numbers, yards are yards, drives are drives. Don't care how they get there. Whether they're used, I mean,
Waylon.
people say they need to use 3 and 1 more, and then they use 3 and 1 more, and then they're still not doing it right. So there's always going to be people that are struggling with something. I mean, I agree that 7 needs the ball as much as possible, but I don't know.
You can push button. Joey.
I don't know which one to push. Sorry.
There we go.
He's doing the Lord's work over here. 31-17 Netflix.
This is ridiculous. Give me my phone.
I was about to say, let me put a comment in this thing.
Give me 1 minute, sitters. We're all in here together. Shout out Austin Lawrence. We get to see him tomorrow.
My guy, Austin.
Fired up about that.
Oh, I can't.
There we go. We got a Florida
there
pick.
it is. There it is.
There we go. I'll donate the gift card.
What time is it in Japan? I'm just curious.
It's
We're international. We
I
got
think
people listening in freaking Japan.
all over the world.
Bro.
I think it's 9 a.m. there.
Is it 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. or 11 a.m.
Good
One
morning.
of the two.
Happy Thanksgiving, Kyle.
Kyle. Happy
Look at
Thanksgiving.
Kyle, I love Kyle, man. Kyle's good people.
Great guy.
He's a piece of trash human.
Wow, that's
I'm just.
it's not the truth.
what in
He's
the
laughing
heck?
right now. I promise. He's
I know, no,
laughing
I know he is.
a
I know he
million
is,
miles
but-
away. I love Kyle. He's a sweet brother.
There we go. I'll get back in there. And let me get out of there. My comment better hit. What the heck?
It takes 30 seconds.
Oh, that's right.
Christopher. Chris Martinez trying to get that free haircut. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't realize that we had the ability to play in this
I also
game.
like how you prices righted Kyle Gamble.
Yes,
He was
sir.
34-31.
I 100% did that. 100% did that.
Bradford James said FPS in at least 60 countries. He's probably not wrong.
If not more.
Yeah, he's probably not
What else?
wrong.
While the scores come flooding in, because this is exceptional. What else are we talking about tonight?
Whatever the sitters want in the comments.
I would like to talk about Miami getting beat outright by Boston College Saturday.
Oh,
I would like to talk about the Chiefs not scoring any points in the second half for 3 straight games.
so can we go to the other games that we didn't pick earlier?
yeah, we'll blitz through these super quickly here.
Or you can not do that. We can do what we want to. It's our freaking podcast.
Happy
Tyler.
Thanksgiving.
I run the show.
He's not wrong.
That's a fact.
He's right.
Hey, if we're not careful, it will end right now.
He is right.
He's
right.
Miami at BC. Is that right?
Yep.
Plus 10.
Yeah, I'll take the points if I'm actually going to. I'm not. No, I don't. I'll take the points right here, right now. But if I make a wager, and I'm going Boston College
Allegedly.
money line.
Oh, no. It's not allegedly.
You can
anymore.
do it now.
I don't know how to do this.
Golly.
Thanksgiving. Give him a Thanksgiving parlay.
Oh, a Thanksgiving
parlay.
Ooh, on the fly.
And Shane's going to give us one, too, so start working one up here, buddy.
Noon.
It is noon on Thursday, not 9 a.m. It is high noon. It is right around
I was really close.
Turkey 30 over there
Yeah.
in
It
Japan.
was really close.
Turkey rice.
Wow. Also, shout out Abigail, my favorite human, Kyle's wife.
Did you hear Joey or no?
No, what do you say?
Why? Why would you bring it back up? Why
What'd
would
he
you
say?
even say my
When I
name?
said I beat my wife, y'all brought it up. We talked about it for 10 minutes.
What do you say?
Turkey rice.
What's
Trying to
wrong
get us
with you?
canceled, man. Are you serious right
No, I
now?
like turkey and I like rice. What are we talking about?
Oh my god.
I thought about having that tomorrow night for front porch giving that Tyler's not coming to. I thought about it.
It's not.
You're
It's
about
not
to get
tomorrow.
You're about to get kicked off the camera.
Sorry, Friday night.
Thank you.
You're about to get kicked off the camera.
Oh, you think that's gonna upset me?
Turkey in the oven, FPS on TV. Let's go.
My guy. I love that.
I wish I knew how to say Happy Thanksgiving in
Thank you
Japanese.
for that.
It's
I
konnichiwa.
was starting to get flustered over here without my pen. Did you see it?
Y'all on that side of the table are out of control.
What did you say?
We're not going to say it again.
No, I'm not doing it. All right. What's the other game? Sorry. Good Lord. Where are y'all at on Boston College, Miami? Sorry.
Boston College. I'm
Outright.
never picking Miami. Texas A&M at LSU minus 11.5. Give me LSU. Go Tigers.
LSU. Yeah.
A&M.
I'm gonna go LSU. Also, Evan
Close.
Stewart is going to Alabama. Keep an eye on it. You heard it here first. Can't tell you who gave me that.
Tell me who
juice.
that is.
Very, very
Evan
good
Stewart?
receiver
Yeah,
at
he's-
A&M.
he's a
Okay,
very
cool.
good
Really,
receiver.
really good.
Thank you. I knew that.
Was
I just
down
wanted
be-
to make sure the Sooners knew that. Is
Was down to Florida and Texas A&M. Fun fact in his high school recruitment.
that real?
Oh, so do you think he's going to Florida?
No,
Okay.
just saying that's what he was down to in his high school recruitment.
Alabama
This is
at
his,
Auburn.
his college's recruitment now.
Alabama at Auburn. Auburn is getting 14.5 points.
They just lost to
New Mexico State by 21.
Give
But
me
New Mexico State's not that bad, but they
They
shouldn't
were
be losing to
8
21.
8-3 coming into the game. I
Well, they
like their
shouldn't be losing by 21.
I like their quarterback. He's athletic. Their coach is good. What's their coach's name?
He does a good job everywhere he's ever been.
Yeah.
So
he's
do
got a
you
weird
want
name.
Auburn or Alabama?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Bama by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll tide.
I'll take the Tigers back to back. Go Tigers. Texas Tech at Texas.
You took both Tigers? You took LSU too, right?
I took both Tigers.
Yeah, I took A&M.
I'm a huge Tiger guy.
Go Tigers.
Go-
14.
Texas Tech
round
at
around
Texas. Texas minus 14. Good number. Great number. Perfect number.
Give me the Longhorns. Give them the Hook'em Horns. I think it's lasers. Is it lasers? I don't know what it is.
Come on.
It's
This
us
is
looking like
bad.
morons.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not doing it anymore. Where you at, Joey?
I got it. Stop. Hammer time. Give me Texas Tech because Steve Sarkisian is on a struggle bus in the second half to close out games.
That's an actual fact.
Texas Tech.
Wrong one.
I'm
So
also
dumb.
going to go on Texas
Pull it back
Tech.
closer. There's the lasers.
Whoa. Texas Tech. I'm going Texas Tech because Sark eats too much turkey and he'll be sleepy in the first half.
That's a Tyler All reasoning right there.
I think he'll be sleeping in the second half. He'll be
No, they're already always sleepy in the second half.
so he's sleeping in both halves.
That's why
they
they're
may
gonna
lose
lose.
outright then.
Well, they won't cover.
All right, what do you guys want to talk
Cameron
about?
Cooey asked a good question.
How many points does playing at night give the University of Florida? I think Blaze
Blaze
hit it
is
on the
right
number.
on.
Yeah, he
3.5.
nailed it. He nailed it. 3.5.
Smart
That's a
guy.
big guys. That's a big number. 3.5
3.5
points
is
for
field goal. It's a whole possession.
yeah. That's crazy.
Scoring possession.
I think it's right. I really do. I think he's absolutely correct on that.
I agree. It's good.
Y'all want to talk playoff
Especially
scenarios?
If they
Florida
get the
State.
game early.
Yeah, we need to talk. That's true.
Pope had a good point. He said if they get in the game early. I agree. I think
such a good point.
I think it could go south quickly. If it were to go south quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I think Florida's resilient in the sense, but I also don't know if Florida State jumps on them and Florida State's playing with momentum and Tate's playing with momentum and Brown is playing from behind and the defense is playing from behind, I don't think that's a good recipe to win.
No.
I agree. Let's talk about playoff implications, playoff predictions. I think our Japanese brethren asked about this at the beginning of the show.
That's what it made me think about it.
Yep.
That's all I came again.
I saw on the TV Florida State has ranked 5th right now.
5th, yep.
Talk to me, Chris.
I think it's fair. I mean,
Do you think that has to do with Jordan Travis' injury? Or do you think that was happening
I
regardless?
think a little bit of both. I think
Who's the top 4, just so we're clear?
Georgia,
Yep.
Michigan, Ohio State, Washington.
Yep.
Washington is a fraud. I don't think they'll finish there. I think when Oregon runs it up on them, they'll be out. I've been saying that. I don't believe in them. They should have lost the game Saturday. They really should have lost the game Saturday if it's not handed to them. But
It's
it was
bizarre.
handed, it was handed to them and they
Bizarre
won the
they
game
moved
and
up
it's
after
fine.
that.
They beat a top 10 team on the road. Mm-hmm. That's why.
So-
Florida State
top
struggles.
12. Top 12 team. I think they were
Top 12, whatever. Top 15 team on the road. Florida State beat an awful North Alabama team and lost their Heisman candidate quarterback. Like, well, I don't think he was going to win it, but he did have odds. He probably would have been in New York. Yeah, so I can.
Yeah.
Still may go. Yeah.
I think. They got moved because they or Washington beat a top 15 Oregon State on the road. That's why.
And I think because they have multiple top 15 wins,
Yeah, their resume is pretty good. They're undefeated
their
as well.
resume as of this moment, I do think is probably better. I don't think they're a better team. I don't think they're better than Florida State. I don't think they're better than Florida State without Jordan Travis. So I definitely don't think if Jordan Travis was healthy and available, I don't think they would be better.
I'm
But
not too pressed about it because I feel like it'll sort itself out.
It 100% will.
Like Florida State has
The
to go
only
beat
thing-
Florida.
The only thing that would bother me as a Florida State fan is they absolutely adore Michigan, Ohio State, both of them. And
Blaze just said it.
Okay.
If you drop FSU because of Washington, then why the heck didn't you drop Michigan? Because I don't know. That's a great question.
Because of fan bases.
It's a reality. Florida State has one of the better, bigger fan bases, by the numbers.
Yeah.
By what they do, viewership, and it's kind of crazy actually.
Yeah.
I believe it.
But again, that would be my concern if I'm a Florida State fan is if it's a 24-21 game with a last-second field goal, Michigan wins at home, Ohio State plays really, really good, do they still get in because they're Ohio State and the media loves them and blah, 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 blah.
I think it'll be really hard, and I've been on this, and I could be very, very wrong. And I do have garnet and gold glasses on occasion. I try not to, but I will say I find it very difficult to believe that if Florida State goes into Gainesville and wins, and then goes and beats a top 10 Louisville team in a neutral site game in an ACC championship, and they're 13-0, I find a scenario that they're left out very, very unlikely.
I agree.
It would be like newsworthy more. It would be more newsworthy that they get left out than they were to be put in at 13-0 ACC champion.
I think it would have to be Washington would have to beat Oregon. Bama
Yep.
would have to beat Georgia.
I kind of disagree. I think Georgia wins, Michigan wins. You're right, because then Ohio State's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They had an opportunity.
yeah, I think it's a little bit crazy, honestly. I think some weird stuff would
I
have
think-
to
I think
happen, and I
those
think
two
Florida State
things
would have to
are
be
the
shafted. Most people would be like, that's probably not the right decision.
I just know
Well, could they
if
still make it? Of
Alabama
course
has a
they could
chance
still
of
make
getting
it.
in, they're going to let them get in.
What'd you just say?
If Alabama has a chance of getting in, if they go out and beat Georgia, they will be in.
I said that last week. I think they're the hottest team in college football, and you're going to put the hottest team in college football in the tournament or in the playoff if you have the opportunity to do that.
Yep.
And I think if they beat Georgia, then they're in.
Yeah.
And
Especially
then in that scenario, I just can't find a way where they leave Georgia out. But
No.
I don't think it's
A
deserving.
one-loss Georgia team, unless they get just
Throttled.
absolutely ran through,
Right.
which that's not going to happen.
It's not.
I don't even think that would matter. I don't.
I
If
think
they get beat 42-3, they're not getting
if
in.
they get beat by 2 touchdowns, that's two possessions.
I hope Alabama wins 49-0.
That happens and Georgia's out.
Right. I do agree with that. If I'm a Florida State fan, I'm very concerned because I think there's so many scenarios where you get screwed, and that's what it is. It will be getting screwed.
Yeah.
If obviously
if you're
if you take care
13-0.
of business. If you lose, then none of it matters.
Right,
it's
and that's
completely
where I'm
irrelevant.
at right now.
Right.
Right now, I had the blinders on where I was only looking at we're going to take care of Florida, we'll beat Louisville, and then we're getting in with Jordan Travis at quarterback. Now I'm like, ooh, I don't know that we win those 2 games to even get an opportunity to get screwed.
I still think you do, but I just like I said, I don't think it matters if Jordan Travis was there. I think I told you guys last week. I think there's scenarios where you get screwed, and I think it's dumb.
I don't see. I think the only one is
They
Alabama
haven't done it
wins.
all year though. They haven't done it all year until this week when Washington did what they did.
But they haven't had it. They haven't had to do it all year.
Right.
Now it's starting to get nut cutting time, and it's like, okay, well,
But they could've-
how are we going to make it to where if Ohio State loses small, do they get in? If Michigan loses small, do they get in? If Alabama runs the table, do they get in? So
I watched
they're
this
giving
committee
themselves
put Texas
windows
Christian
here.
University in last year.
What's that?
I said I watched this committee put Texas Christian University in last year.
And hopefully they learn from that mistake because it was the worst national championship game that anyone has ever witnessed.
But they also
Nobody
they
witnessed
also
it.
won
Nobody
a
watched
game.
that game.
They also won a
yeah, there were
game.
Some people that watched it.
They also won a game to get to that game
They did.
And it was
against
flu-
what
it
everybody
was- it
thought was the second best team in the country last
fluky
year.
as hell in Michigan. Michigan
Against what was
sucks, too.
people thought was the second best team in the country last year.
I agree. I don't know. I really, really
also
hope
lost
that
the
doesn't
star in
happen.
Blake Corum.
I will be if Florida State does run the table and end up 13-0, and they get left out, I'll be salty about that for probably the rest of my life.
You will be. I know you. You will be.
Yeah, but that's not right to the team.
It's not right to the team.
It's not.
Forget me as a fan.
No, it's
I
not
don't
right
care
to the
about.
team. It's not right.
Well,
But the kids
all
that
agree on
earned
that.
it, you
We
know
all
what I'm saying?
agree
The
on
kid,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not. Why play the games then?
I think the committee would like the story of a backup quarterback leading the team. I think they could spin it.
I think they make an argument that that's a more complete team if they can come in and win with a backup quarterback as well.
Right.
I agree. I agree with that 100%.
In my opinion, it makes I'm with you. I think it makes a stronger argument for
Yeah.
them to be in. I don't think.
Well, but that is true though. If they do find a way to win these next two games with a backup, like that is only speaks to the completeness of the football team.
100%.
So, but we'll see. They got a big task ahead of them Friday or Saturday.
All right, let's move. Is there anything else you want to talk about before I go to the NFL?
Oh yes, Colorado.
Ooh.
That's all. That's all.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
It's going smoothly.
Says everything.
They did at 3.5. They're gonna hit it.
They hit the over. Okay, Cameron, that's a little much, Palio.
Starting to sound like some feelings.
What's
There.
that? Yeah, no, I'm with you. Let me know where and when, and we'll start it. Allegedly.
January 6th. No, you know what? Never mind. Forget it.
Oh my gosh, Joey.
Forget it. It was a bad example.
Joey's
It was a bad
off the
time.
rocker.
I didn't mean. That's not what I meant to say.
So my dad said 12 or 8 game playoff. So next year is 12. Yeah, I know what he means.
I have
12.
been on this board for the longest time.
Next year's 12, and guess what it does? It erases this argument. So now, if the person gets
It
screwed,
doesn't though. It's going to make it for the 13 and 14.
it doesn't. Who cares about them?
I don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right, 100%. This
You know what I mean?
strong.
This side, like
I was all on board with keeping it 4 because I like that every game means something, and
But you realize that was a really stupid.
but every
thing to
game
think.
doesn't mean something because it clearly doesn't mean something because we're going to put 2 1-loss teams in there and we're going to potentially leave a
but even those
undefeated
one-loss
team
teams,
out.
yeah, but even those one-loss teams' resumes are pretty good, though. You know what I mean? Like,
But you said
like Florida-
you just said
I agree. I'm listen. I'm with you. I'm with you, but Florida State hasn't really played anybody but LSU.
Okay, let me ask you a question. This has not been a problem for how many years now? The four best teams have made it in how many years in a row now?
So hang on, I got to push back on Joey. They can only play what's on the schedule.
I understand that.
But the schedule is set years and years and years out. Like
I understand that, and they can't
when
help
they
the fact-
scheduled LSU, they didn't know that LSU was going to be dog water.
Well, they're not dog water. They're pretty good.
But nobody values that win. We didn't know.
I think they do.
That's the only win they value.
I don't think the community
That is
values,
true, though. That is the only win that they truly value because Clemson's down,
Clemson-
and that's not Florida State's fault. I 100% agree with
They're
all
on
of
the
this.
schedule. Florida, no one thought they were going to win 5 games. They're not helping us at all right now.
None.
You know, I push back. If you can only win the games, it isn't like they scheduled like the school in St. Augustine, like Florida Deaf and Blind. Like they didn't schedule them.
Right. No, I agree.
They beat who's in front of them.
I agree.
Did y'all ever discuss the relegation?
No, we didn't
No,
discuss
we
the
didn't get
relegation.
to.
We need to.
I love it.
That's a good postseason conversation.
It is.
I want to ask this question because I think it's somewhat relevant. How many years in a row did the top 4 teams get in a row? Every year, right?
For the most part, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't think the BCS ever got it wrong, just so we're clear. Ever. I think they should still use the BCS and do the playoff that way.
I don't know how those things combine. My point being, I feel like there's more
Parity?
parity. Thank you for the great word there.
Mm-hmm.
Among college football this year than it has been in a little while.
I agree.
I would just like to point out that these teams are a result of the transfer portal and NIL.
Mm-hmm.
Does that change your opinion on either of those two things because of that?
No, it's part of the game now.
My point being, it feels
I
like
hated
there's
it
more
before. I
parity.
still hate it now.
Okay, that's fine.
But I don't hate what it's done to the game. I hate what it's done to humans.
Okay, that's fine. I can live with that.
You know what I mean? Like as far as what
Yeah.
college football does, and the parity, I do like. I think having.
I just
parity-
mean like look at the Pac-12 this year. Like, there's teams that we're talking about contending. 2 of them.
the best it's been in since USC was
20
really
years.
really good.
20 years
You know what I mean? Like that, they are as good as I said last week. I think it's the best conference in college football.
I still think you're crazy.
So hey, can I ask? You think Washington is a better football team than Florida State right now?
No,
Like they squeak by garbage, not garbage.
I agree.
Arizona.
are they the second best team in the ACC? 1,000%.
I'm cool with that, but they're not in the ACC.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying. Like overall, top to bottom,
But they're
I
the
just
ones
think
that are in
back to
front of
twi-
Florida State right now.
Right.
They're the ones that just like leapfrogged them.
I understand, but the resume is better. Yes, the resume, what they've done on the field, the wins that they've gotten,
They're undefeated right now, so I can't argue too much about that.
the wins that they've gotten are better.
I mean, yeah, I mean, rankings wise, I would tend to agree, but I don't know how those teams would fare if they played in different region of the country either. Like Cameron has a good point. Florida State is the only team that's won in Death Valley this year. It's a tough place to win. Took them to overtime.
Who else has played there?
I don't know. They're the only team to win there.
I mean, NC State's not going to win there. Wake
NC
Forest,
State has won there before.
Wake Forest isn't going to win there.
Wake Forest, yeah, they don't have Sam Hartman. Like they're not good anymore.
I'm sure they are the only team that's won there because
Florida State has the largest margin, like 22 points a game is like the margin of victory, like on average. Like they're yes. So okay, the schedule isn't as strong as a Washington or whatever. Okay, I'm fine with that. But they beat who's in front of them how they're supposed to beat who's in front of them.
I agree with Chris on this, 100%.
I agree with Chris on this. I'm just telling
Shut
you.
up, no, you don't.
He doesn't.
I'm just playing with you, Joey. I'd like to rile your feathers up. Hey, all right.
did.
I for sure did. I know how to push my guy's button.
I'm just watching Florida basketball.
I'm gonna take these cookies away.
I'm good. I'm just watching Florida basketball. They're shooting so poorly.
But
right
Michigan is bad. I'm with Blaze. Michigan is.
I don't think
Michigan's
Michigan
that
or
great.
Ohio State's that great.
Michigan's
I think
best
Florida
win is
State's
against
better
the
than
Penn
both of
State.
them.
I agree. Blaze is asking questions that are rhetorical. Why is Michigan and Ohio State there? Yeah, it's a great question.
Because their names are Michigan
And Ohio State. That is precisely why. I did not
I
realize
just don't.
Florida
Here's where like I'm like I think your mind and maybe you, I don't know. My biggest disconnect is one loss teams getting in over undefeated conference champions.
I can't get behind that either.
I just don't think that just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me.
But you're saying
I'm saying what those people think.
Okay.
I'm not. This is not my opinion. Is the same from the beginning of the year. I think Florida State is one of the 3 best teams in the sport.
up until this week. We'll find out how they look this week.
Sure,
But up until, yes, absolutely.
My
Absolutely.
opinion, Joey
Yeah.
Edge's opinion, is Florida State was in the playoff. I said it at the beginning of the year. I
Yep.
said it in the
You
summer.
did.
I said it last spring, and I've said it all the way up until right this moment. I, to this very moment, think Florida State is the top 3 team in the college football.
That's the
I do.
clarification I needed because I was like, for a minute there, I thought you
I
were saying,
think that. I'm telling you what the perception and what other people feel like, and why,
and they're wrong.
and why Washington jumped them. They jumped them because
I'm
their
cool
record.
with Washington.
Yeah.
In this very moment, I'm cool with Washington.
And
I
what Blaze said right here about Michigan,
I agree
that's
with
why
Blaze on
I
that.
think the Big Ten sucks. I don't think the Big Ten's very good. I think it's probably as bad as it's been because I don't think Michigan State is great or Michigan's great. I don't think Ohio State is great. I think Penn State is dog water, and that's the 3rd best team in the conference.
Yeah, and they have a cachet because they're beating these ranked teams. They get propped up early in the year, so they keep their ranking, and they go beat a Penn State. Penn State's not good.
They're not good. Maryland, bad. Wisconsin, bad.
But I think they took an opportunity.
Pope says, I think they took an opportunity to put them down
Because we know Ohio State, Michigan.
because we know Ohio State
Right.
and Michigan are going to come out.
So I have to repeat it right now. But
I'm not gonna remember it.
They can set up a Florida State, Georgia.
They can set up a Florida State and Georgia game
like first round if both those went out.
Yeah,
if
don't,
both of those teams
Some of
went
that
out.
has to do
Don't
with
like
positioning,
that.
Right, we saw that last year with them
Right.
moving some people around.
Some of that has to do with
Because
positioning where they
position
moved it
in the game.
around and
Geographically,
get the games
it
that
helps.
they want
I like
together
that. That
in
helps
the playoffs.
markets watch like the watchable markets and whatever. I agree with all that. I think you're right.
Yeah,
Hey, Pope, if
and-
you want to come
and
sit down, this mic's on.
I don't like that matchup, but I do agree with you.
As a Florida State fan,
But I agree with what you're
Their
saying.
position
Yeah.
and building the games.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Because
agree with
you
Pope.
can't. You're not gonna be able to do it in the last pick of the playoff
Right. You
rankings.
can't drop them
Yeah.
after they've won out.
But you can do it right now after they
And
lose their
Georgia
quarterback.
State hurt.
Yep.
They took the,
Yeah.
they took the chance.
They took an
Golly,
opportunity
Shane
to
is so
drop them
smart.
to 5 because Washington won't be there. I think we all think
Maybe
that.
not.
If they are, I think Oregon beats them. Again.
Shane,
One of the two come out.
Yeah.
I
Shane
think
Front
we're
Porch Sitting is looking for a new president of operations.
Are we? That's news to me.
I didn't know he had.
Merry Christmas.
I didn't know he had a previous president of operations.
Me either.
Sounds like a hot position.
I can assure you it's not.
We love our sponsors.
Yep.
Let's move to the NFL. There were some interesting games this week. The Bills bounced back. The Bengals lost Joe Burrow. The Chiefs can't score in the second half.
For reals.
Like for real.
Yeah.
I am. me
You're
and-
gonna
me and
drive
Clayton-
this show. You're gonna drive it right
Me
here.
and
This
Clayton
part,
are-
this section.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Clayton tweeted Patrick Mahomes is overrated. Dude. I will stand with Clayton on this.
You can't. You can. You're wrong, but you can.
Okay.
How about somebody catch the ball?
He threw 4 touchdowns in the second half, and they all got dropped. Fuck out of
I
here.
know. I don't have a leg to stand on this. I just don't like the guy.
F bomb on Thanksgiving. I love it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Asinine.
Joseph.
It's
He
stupid.
did it. He did it.
Dumb.
It's on a
Don't
lot
do
of
it. Don't
TVs.
say dumb things.
It's on a TV
Don't
in
say
Japan
dumb
too.
things.
Here you are.
Don't
You know I
they
don't
didn't
mean it.
understand
You
me
know I
there.
just don't like the guy.
They didn't understand me there. Trying to check my scores, and
Tyler,
you're
We,
over here.
we really are looking for a new president of operations.
drive the show. Man. Where we at?
Why can't the Chiefs score in the second half?
They don't have playmakers.
I agree.
Tyreek
Do you
Hill.
still think that they're a Super Bowl favorite now?
Really, is Taylor Swift wasn't there?
Yeah, if Taylor Swift goes to the games, yes, I do.
Okay,
think
do
that.
you think the Chiefs are the Super Bowl favorites right now?
No,
Do you think they're the second Super Bowl favorites?
probably.
I think they're the favorite in the AFC still.
They are,
So
yes.
to go to the Super
Yep.
Bowl, yes, I think they're
Second
the
favorite to win. Yeah.
and so I think that automatically qualifies them as probably the third best odds
I would give them the third best odds behind the Niners and the Eagles.
in
I
the
think.
Eagles. Yeah, 100% agree. I
Same.
don't think you can argue that honestly.
The
at this point.
Dolphins, I think you could make a case for.
They got to win.
but
They got to win like a bigger game.
They got to win big games.
Yeah,
They
they've
gotta win big
got to
games.
beat somebody.
I think they have the pieces.
Yeah, they don't have the pieces on defense. Oh, Jalen Ramsey looked really good. Go Knowles.
Jalen Ramsey looks fire.
You know what his passer rating against him is right now? When teams throw it to him?
What?
Anybody? No? 0.0.
Yeah, stop throwing that 5.
I think they have the pieces, and if
he-
they get it to click,
Yeah,
I could see them.
on defense is the issue though. But
Defense is
he
the issue.
for
But if
them,
they go up against the
for-
Chiefs,
For the Dolphins?
Yeah,
Yeah, they haven't been healthy yet. Like they're just now starting
Yes.
to get a little bit healthy.
that's
That
my
part is-
thing. Is
yeah,
they
like
can
both
I agree.
cornerbacks
together.
are starting. Like they got one starting quarterback. I think the other one's not
I would
there yet.
take-
But they're getting closer and closer and closer to being like there.
stop
if-
throwing
if-
it at 5. How about
If
you
we
do that?
were a month away, 2 months away, and it was the AFC Championship game between the Chiefs and the Dolphins, I would take the Dolphins. I feel like they're the more complete team
Pope, you
at
know.
that point.
Pope says no. I'm also with you.
I
Probably
think they
no.
have the best player on the field, but can they get him the ball?
I have to see it. Like I'd have to see it. Like
They just still haven't beaten anybody with a winning
that's what I'm
record.
saying. I
know,
have to
that's
see
the
that
problem.
before I could like
That's
get
the problem.
behind
Yeah.
that.
I think
I have no
in
leg to stand on.
theory. In theory, I
That's-
agree with you.
My whole thing is
Yeah, in
theory-based.
theory, but in
That's-
reality, I can't.
You're,
Reality hasn't
seen
yeah,
it
you're
because-
projecting something that you haven't seen yet. Like,
100%.
I agree with
100%.
you. I mean, you're my, the
Casey buys a jugs machine, it's over.
just like we haven't seen CJ Stroud.
yeah, yeah. He looks pretty good.
Hey, Pope said if KC buys a jugs machine, it's over.
CJ Stroud's kind of good.
Hey man. Hey, he was
Still not
You
enough
didn't
yet.
say he wasn't good last
I
week.
didn't. I had to see it more. I
Saw it one more week.
Yeah, it looks great.
Hey, you
Gotta
think
see it
the-
again.
You think the Colts can get Keon Coleman at like what will they be like maybe
Yeah, I do.
pick 13, 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, probably.
No, I think they can.
I think that's a real possibility.
I think there's
I was
so many
thinking about it this
quarterbacks that
week.
are going to go in the top 10 that pushes guys like Keon Coleman. I think that pushes them back.
I think so too.
What? Marvin Harrison will be number 1.
He'll be the,
The
first
first
wide
receiver,
receiver.
yeah.
off the board,
Receiver.
yes.
Receiver.
Right.
that's
He'll
what-
probably be
There'll,
the
there'll be
second.
some offensive tackles
Big.
that come off
Coleman?
the board.
No,
Harrison.
Harrison, yeah.
2? I don't know who he'll be picking at 2. I'm not versed enough, but
right now it's Chicago and then Chicago again. So,
yeah, probably him.
and I assume
think-
they'll probably
Who's,
trade the
who
first
is the second receiver going to come off the board?
I think it's Keon Coleman.
I do too.
one. For me,
Yeah.
It's Keon Coleman.
Are
Keon
you-
Coleman.
I want Keon
I
Coleman.
agree.
I want Anthony Richardson throwing to Keon Coleman next year.
And then
But-
if they
Sign
play
me
a
up.
pickup basketball game, they'll never lose. 2-on-5?
They could run the streets of Indianapolis.
Absolutely. They go to the freaking Pacers, bro.
the sad thing is you're 1,000% correct. It would be go time for those two.
Hey,
If they played 2-on-2
Keon-
pickup games for
oh,
money,
man.
they would make more playing that than they would.
No
playing
doubt.
football.
Nobody would play them.
Well, that's true.
Freaking, he was. Man, we've already said it 100 times, but he literally was on the Michigan State basketball team, like in the
They're
rotation.
pretty good. They're a pretty good team.
Michigan State.
Yeah.
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 Tom Izzo.
I was going to say something a second. I don't remember what it was.
I have a question for you because the
Okay.
Bears go 1-2. Do you think they take a quarterback?
I don't.
You think they ride with Justin Fields? They've got an
Yes.
opportunity to take the number 1 quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, but that's Caleb Williams.
I just
Hard pass for
agree.
me.
I don't know, man. I'm so confused by a lot of things. Like
There were people
with
calling for
NFL.
Tyler Badgett to keep starting after Fields came back. That's a
Right.
real thing.
I know. I saw it.
Fans are fanatics.
They are crazy.
They're, Joey
Badgett-
used a good word earlier, asinine.
Badgett, he wasn't bad, but
Come on.
he's not Justin Fields.
He's a good
Just-
backup.
He's a good
Hold a-
good
hold
Justin
a
Fields
clipboard.
backup too.
Hold a clipboard, man. This is going to be great.
I don't think.
Do you think the Bears believe in Justin Fields enough? What do they take 1-2 if they don't take a quarterback? They
I
take
think they
Marvin
trade.
Harrison.
I think they trade the first pick, take
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison with the second.
What do they get for the first pick?
I think they get probably like pick 10 and a second rounder. What'd they get?
What'd they get last year?
Yeah,
DJ Moore, a first this year,
Yeah.
a first next year,
Yeah,
16
I would
seconds.
want-
That was the
I
trade
mean-
of the century.
They literally
Dude, they
beat
traded
the
up to get
Panthers to
Bryce.
death.
And they got Bryce Young.
The worst quarterback.
Is there a
The
vomit? Is there a
literal
vomit
worst
emoji?
quarterback. There's a fingers down.
Yeah, we can do that.
I just did it. I didn't do anything stupid.
Man,
Maybe
sometimes
two.
it doesn't work. Let it. There's. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the rain. That's the rain. Chris just left the show. He just left.
He just left.
Shane, you want to jump in? Talk a little football? NFL?
Um,
Sure. You can do it. There's a free seat. Chris left.
So you think they trade?
He'll be back. I think they trade. If they're 1-2, I think they trade the top pick, the first pick.
I think they have to trade the
because they obviously saw what they could get for it.
Yeah.
They call
They can just
probably
do
the
this every
Panthers
year.
again.
They could, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Do you want your pick back?
Good defensive pieces. They could get a defensive piece.
that's a good point. It's a good point. They traded Khalil Mack 2 years ago now.
Yeah, but they just traded for Chase Young too.
Yeah, put something with it.
Yeah.
Who traded for Chase Young? No.
Yeah.
The Bears?
No, Montez Sweat. Sorry, the
Yeah.
other one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. I was like,
Montez
Chase
Sweat.
Young went to
No,
the
my bad.
Niners,
My
didn't he?
bad. Montez Sweat. They traded for
There we
Montez Sweat, and so I mean they got a young D end right now, a young edge guy. So hey,
Hey, I'm back.
Chris is back.
Hey, buddy.
Long
He's
show.
wrestler,
It
man.
was a long show.
I'm about to eat a cookie.
Oh, don't
Let's get this out of here before we do all that.
Yeah, I don't think they take the top pick if they have it. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. Hey, can I say one thing real quick?
I feel like they're in a really tough spot because I feel so bad for this GM because it doesn't matter what he does. If he picks a quarterback, they're going to say, "Why did we take a quarterback? We had Justin Fields."
Right.
And
If they
he
don't
doesn't,
take a quarterback-
Justin Fields is going to suck, and they're going to be like, "Man, we had the one pick overall."
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's still half the season left.
But they also have
what Fields looks like.
Matt Eberflus, and that's a problem.
that is a problem.
Can you explain? I can't fathom what people think. Like Bryce Young, for
Mm-hmm.
instance. Like, how do you look at Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, and you think that Bryce Young is the better quarterback?
I have no clue.
Like, what scouting department? Who was in your? Scouting
I'm not
department?
a smart person. I know nothing about football, if you can't tell. And I knew that.
Yeah. Well, and then like
We've been saying it. I mean, got a lot of flack for it, but
only from a couple of people.
from a Bama fan.
Yeah.
we love Jake, but
Well, I do love Jake, but he is a little biased to his Bama fan or
Yes.
Bama family.
yeah.
But then the other thing that really like baffles me. So you were talking about Keon Coleman going number 2 as the number 2 receiver.
Yes.
Quentin Johnson went in the first round last year.
Dude,
Have y'all
he's
seen him play?
Bad.
He was
Terrible.
He was never good at TCU.
No.
He was a one trick
He dropped a
pony.
game-winning touchdown too.
Yeah, he was a one trick pony that wasn't great at that trick, but Big 12's terrible. So
Yeah.
there you go. But if you watched him like ever run a route or use his hands to try to catch the ball, it was
You said he was
always
terrible.
abysmal.
Yep.
What did you think was going to change when you drafted him? Like, there's no way a scouting department, a guy looking at him, looked at his tape and was like, this guy, he's got a chance to be special. No offense to the guy,
It
but
took him what, second round? Like early second round?
first,
It's kind of like
late first.
catching a football. You can either do it or you can't.
It's either natural or it's not.
Yeah,
it's
it's-
either forced or
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah, it's like hand talent, like with like baseball or football. Like you either can like locate where the football's going to go or where the pitch is going to go, or you can't. We can clean the mechanics up a little bit, and
course.
we can improve it a little bit.
Yeah, we can make minor detail changes at that level.
Better
Sure.
yet, like the 40. Like you're either fast or you're not. We can shave a couple tenths off, but if you're a 5'4" of the day you walk out here as an 18-year-old, you're fully developed, you're not going to be a 4'4" by the time you're 22 and you're in the combine.
No.
If you walk in
Most
as a
likely.
freshman and you're 5'4", you're not going to be a 4'4" by your senior year. Like,
Yeah, no, it's just
it doesn't work that way.
it's you either have it or you don't. It's the same thing with catching. You can either catch, you have hand-eye coordination, or you don't. You can improve it. You can tweak it, like with the jugs machine. Like we can
Right. You can get
practice
better at being bad.
catching. Yeah, but like you either can or you can't. Christie's comment, I'd like to read it. A Kelsey brother wins the Super Bowl. Shout out to the McCardles. They're awesome. They're
I
incredible.
would not
That's
be
Josh's
mad about the
wife,
Eagles
by the way.
winning one bit.
I wouldn't. You would say you're not mad.
I would not be mad if the Eagles won.
Me either.
I would be very mad if the Chiefs won.
You hate the Chiefs.
I loathe.
I don't
the
know
Chiefs.
why.
Entirely.
How do you not like Andy
It's the
Reid?
Grinch.
I love Andy Reid.
The
I'm
Wen-
very- I'm very
the
capable.
Wendy's commercial is so good, or not the Wendy's, but the State Farm commercial.
You want to see
Yeah.
the Nuggies?
Yeah.
What about the Nuggets?
No, I like Andy Reid. I think he's great. I just don't like Patrick Mahomes.
But why?
I like Mahomes.
What
I
if-
just don't
what
like his
if-
brother. His brother's
Yeah, his
weird.
brother's like, nah.
Careful.
Yeah, I don't like his brother. I don't know why I don't like Patrick Mahomes. I just don't.
Okay,
That's,
you're allowed
that's
to.
fair. That's fair. Is
Sorry.
it because his wife?
Sue me. Why would it be about his wife?
I don't know.
What?
Because
I
she's
don't
almost
know,
as
man.
annoying as
Joey
his brother.
is-
Have y'all seen?
Joey!
Have y'all?
Off
no?
the rails. Yeah.
I'm going silent.
10:40.
I'm
What
going
time?
silent.
With the hoodie on.
Hey,
too.
are the Broncos back?
Broncos never left.
I'm not talking about the Broncos. Steiner's not even in here anymore.
He's not. What a loser.
Broncos never left.
Lahu Saher.
As soon
The
as they
Broncos
hired
never
Sean
left.
Payton, they were already back.
What do you think about the hits from the one dude?
That's what I was talking about earlier. Kareem
The
Jackson
DB?
Yes, the hit this week.
on Josh Dobbs.
Came back after like a 4-game suspension. Josh Dobbs got lit
Remind
up.
me to tell you the joke I almost just said into that microphone.
Glad you didn't. Let's talk about the Josh
Oh
Dobbs
my
hit.
God.
Were you okay with the hit?
I didn't see it.
Yes,
I saw it.
ask me.
What do you think?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
He lowers. He literally did. Is that the play he took the toss?
No.
Okay, but
Dobbs?
yeah. Earlier in the game, they literally had Hawkinson take the snap and toss the ball to Dobbs on a sweep.
No, it's not that one. This play, he was
But-
he was running up the gut.
But it was a design quarterback run, I believe.
I don't know. I've only seen the
Either
hit.
way, Minnesota had proven that they were going to use Josh Dobbs as a running back. 3rd and short, the tight end takes the snap and tosses it to the quarterback, who then tries to go pick up the first down and doesn't. So, like, yeah,
Graham Mertz would have done it. He might have broke his collarbone.
He's a running back at the time, in my opinion. He's a running back.
100%.
So, like, I'm cool with that. Like, the hit was, yeah, okay, was it with a crown? Yeah, maybe. But, like, it was in his freaking solar plex. Like, it was in his chest. It wasn't in his head.
Yeah, it's really hard when you go to make a tackle like that. Physics, you want to hit the guy as high as you can that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you've got to be aiming up here. That's where has the least amount of balance.
Yeah, we teach here to knees. And then so what happens is we run the ball, and then all of a sudden now I've already like not launched, but like I've declared,
yeah.
I've gone to my strike, and then you go brace for impact. Yeah. It's gonna look way higher. That is happening. People don't realize how fast that game is happening.
100%.
You just don't realize. Like you watch the like, and I'm not trying to be like
In slow motion.
yeah, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I know more than. I'm just saying, like, even on the high school level or college level, it happens so fast. You sit from the comfort of your couch and
That
you
guy
watch
gets
a replay.
paid to play fast too.
Yeah, and you watch a replay, and you literally see like, oh my God, that's so malicious. But if you're on the sideline, you're like, what just happened? I have no idea what just happened.
Because I
It happens
blinked.
like that.
Because I blinked. Or I
So,
was
like,
look,
to
I had to
ask-
look this way for this long.
And like Blaze already alluded to it, and I'm not sure he's in here, but I would much rather be hit in my chest where I have shoulder pads on than in my knees
Yep, 100%.
where like my career ends right now.
Yeah, and that's
I-
and
again,
like
I-
I'm saying, that's
For the defender too, because it's not safe to go down low. That's hard.
And that
Hit
was my
me.
point. Is like if this is your body, this is your center. You either need to get here to get toppled over, or here to get toppled over.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean? So like you're asking the guy to get hit right here, which is very close.
Yeah,
to
and so
his
when
head.
you brace for
so
impact,
if you brace, you go down.
and you're immediately now in the
You're in the strike zone.
and he didn't even that actual hit didn't even hit the helmet at all.
Yeah.
It was a quarterback, and he got lit the freak up, and that's why everyone's sensitive about it.
Is Josh Dobbs the MVP though? Yes.
Sure, but should that have been a penalty?
No. Is he the greatest player in the history of the NFL? Probably.
Remind me to tell y'all my joke in a minute. Get us out of here. Let's go. What are we doing?
I just tweeted falsities because Clayton's not here and he deserves it. I tweeted to Clayton, Joey just said the Broncos hit deserves suspension.
Yeah, you did lie to him.
I 100% lied to him, but he's not here and he won't know that.
I'm with you, Dad. Let's just play football. I'm sick of it.
Let him play.
I
Let
think,
the
I think
boys
it says
play.
flag football. I think it says flag football.
Oh, there's a flag. There's a heart over it.
I know.
Yeah, there's a heart over it. Yeah, it just says let's play flag football. That's not what he means. That's what Chris thought. I got you. We're good.
Yeah, he said let's just play flag football and like condescending because all
Right.
this
Because there's no.
soft garbage.
It is soft.
Was it? You know, real quick before
Yeah,
we get
how
out of
many?
here, you
Let's
want to
hear
know how my dad taught me how to tackle?
How?
He taught me. He said, "We can say it now." He said, "Put your." And it's not bad. Put your face mask in their chest.
Yeah.
That's how I was taught to tackle.
That's how everybody was taught to tackle young.
Yeah. Don't pick a side. We don't pick a side. Some people say like put your head in front. I'm not part of it. But some people said put your head in front, like head across. No, my dad didn't teach me that. Put your face mask in his chest. That's how we tackle.
It's true.
Clayton Clayton replied and said, "I love it. When has Joey ever been right into the history of life?"
Wow.
This turned into Joey getting clapped.
And that's how we can. That's how we can get out of here. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Hey, Pope, thank you for being here.
I
Appreciate
worked
you.
40 minutes for you sitters.
Yeah.
That's right. And we have like I don't know if it's like a super long tradition. We've stayed here in the past till Thanksgiving. We've done it at least once.
I've got the golf cart tonight, so I'm here for it.
And it's charging.
It's
Might
charging.
need to charge
It's
for a little bit
charged
longer.
right now.
I probably won't make it. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. This has been Tyler Rolfe along with Joey Edge and Chris Martinez and Shane Pope. And we are Front Porch Sitting. Have a great Thanksgiving, sitters.
Balloons trumps you.
I want to hear the joke.
As soon as he